Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome inside the Zatzman Sportsplex as we get set for today's second last game of the evening between the Halifax Wolverines and the Rangers as we get set for puck drop. It looks like it's going to be Lachlan McKay to do the honors for the Wolverines, and it will be McKim for the Rangers. 15 minutes on the clock. As we'll take a sec here to introduce the starting goaltenders as well. Starting for the Wolverines, getting the nod again tonight, wearing number 31, is Riley Green. As the Rangers will work that into his zone. 200 feet down from Green is the top goalie named to the U15 league, Mason McKinnon. He'll get the nod here against the dangerous Wolverines, who had a 6-1 win last night over the Whalers. They fell short, though, to the Gulls this morning as they'll try to get back into the win column here. Both teams coming into this game 1-1 as it's played around for Gugu. He works it up the wall. It's turned over just inside the blue line. Finley Howe trying to work it out. Parker will put it in deep and peel off for the change. Ethan Gugu back for it. He'll look over his options. Quickly up the far side, read by Sim at the blue line. He gets run into offside at the line as Sim overskated the puck. And he got to meet George McKim, who laid the check on him as he entered the zone to set them offside. So we'll get the first stoppage of play here in the opening 15 minutes of play. Both these teams looking for a win here to help them improve their record to 2-1. The other team will move to 1-2. The Rangers with a 7-1 loss in game one of the 2025-2026 provincials against the Warewell Bombers. Responding back, though, with a win this morning, 4-2 over the Novas, as they look to keep that momentum from this morning into this game. But the Wolverines off to a hot start. A save there by McKinnon, as the Wolverines on the heavy forecheck once again to start this game off. Without Felix McDonald, a big hit there from Conlon will set the Rangers offside and allow the Wolverines to regroup. Here's Lucas Wayne. He'll bob and weave his way up through the blue line, and over the line he goes. He stops up the ring line, looks to center off a stick. That'll trickle to the far point where Jack Ripley will dump it back in deep. Cash West below the goal line, looks for an option up ice. He'll lose it into the feet of Fisher Snare, and Rutledge will put it back in down low, up into the mesh, and out of play will stop it. Here with 12:53 remaining, opening period of action. Still no score as both these teams look to improve their record to 2-1. As mentioned, both a 1-1 record on the year, or in the provincial, sorry. As it's worked back here, Berger will send that around the dashboard to the far side corner, while Ripley will keep it down below the goal line. Chalk in there trying to dig it out. Ripley staying down low. Here's a chance, centering, a Snare puts it off the post of McKinnon. Down low, Coombs. Good separation there. I believe that was number 14, Gavin Surrett, as he'll pick the puck up and will chip it off the glass. Back into the Wolverine zone. No icing as it was deflected on the way down. Hannay to it first. Good support. Here's Kendall. Jack Kendall will cycle that puck down low for Hannay. Hannay looks down low. He'll cycle it up top to Cash West. At the point, West for Hannay. Looking for an option back to West, and that'll squeak outside the zone as he had shifted over to the middle of the ice. West up for his centerman. Nice move around one. There's Kendall. He'll have a full head of steam over the blue line. Down low on his backhand, a shot there. Riley Green into the breadbasket, will hold on for the whistle. As the Rangers will send over McPherson on the line change. There'll be an offensive zone draw as they'll talk it over. Turner with the red hair lined up behind Dufour as Dufour, McPherson, and Turner on the front end for the Rangers on this offensive zone draw. It's won by Dufour, but picked up. Here comes Harpo, who, in my opinion, had a stellar game last night. He was all over the ice in the 6-1 victory, as we'll see if he can continue it here this evening. As that'll be picked up. Here comes Harpel. He'll try to cut wide. He does. Here's Leo Harpel's shot there. McKinnon, it went through his 5-hole, but went wide. The top-rated goaltender in the U15 league between the pipes for the Rangers, looking to continue it that way. A hard hit there by Harpel's going to draw a call. We'll wait to see what for. It looked like a boarding call, and that one will be going to Harpel as he laid out Maverick LeBlanc. Harpel probably not happy with that one. It was just a hard body check into the boards. Harpel questioning the call there, as the first power play will be awarded to the Rangers. On the draw, a hard hit there. Kendall goes down. He's slow to get up. That clearing attempt bouncing over the stick of the defenseman, Cash West, will trickle its way down below the goal line of the Rangers. West stops. Two-man trail behind him. Look for the drop play. Here's West. Drops it off. Dufour weaves his way up to the blue line where he's ran into there by Shear. And the Wolverines will get it down. The Rangers will have to reset. McKinnon drops it for West. Cash West. He's going to wheel up. This time he's going to keep in over the blue line. Good stick by Ripley. Turns the Wolverines back the other way. Is trying to break through as Kopech. He had a good game last night. He's got 4 points on the tournament so far. That's number 22 in yellow. Turner. He's going to get his feet moving up ice. Drop. 3 back this time for the Rangers. Dufour. He'll play it across. In front of the bench, Kendall will take a hit and get it in deep. Green to stop it. And Williams will clear. It's just held in at the line off the bench, looking for a play to the net. Nice patience in below the goal line. Taking his time with it is LeBlanc. Up top for Dufour. The centerman playing at the top of the key. Here's a shot. It's blocked. And now the Wolverines with a break. 2-on-1. Parker. He's got a step in alone. Parker shoots, and that one wide. As a great job by Dufour to get back and just get a stick on Parker. I think that might have had some effect on the puck going a little bit wide. So I'll give a little stick tap or a nod there to Liam Dufour. 2 assists on the campaign here in the provincials as he'll head off to the bench. But the centerman with a great 200-foot back check there as he had the shot blocked in the offensive zone. He made sure he got back and disrupted that puck just enough to make sure it went wide past McKinnon. Here's Surrett. 15 seconds remaining on the power play as Surrett's going to wheel out to center. He'll chip it in on his backhand. Finley Howe tried to center off a skate into the neutral zone. Chalk will regroup. Trig Chalk shimmies, and he'll work it up the wall. Hounded from behind by Shear, who turns it back up ice. Jack Shear, the brother of Halifax McDonald Will Shear, who is in St. John this weekend for the Atlantic Championships. His 3rd consecutive year as that puck will be worked into the blue line for Chalk. He'll go one-on-one with Sim down below the goal line. Sim, nice escape move to work that out in a high flip. We'll clear it into the neutral zone for Lateria. With some speed over the blue line. Lateria towards the net. McKinnon had some trouble with it as he tried to push it into the corner. Missed it. It hit his pad. Good thing he had the pad down. And he'll hold on for a whistle. So the Rangers had a power play, was unable to capitalize. It's a little bit of a confusion. Schneer's going to stay. It looks like it's going to be Lateria off. Lateria wearing number 95. Here I have him on my roster, I believe, as number 24. So a little bit of a change in numbers there for number 24 now wearing number 25 as it's worked back here by the Wolverines. It'll be chipped in. Rutledge will wait on the half wall. We'll get it worked up to him. It's to the point. Held in momentarily as the man goes down was Hubley on a big check there from Schneer. Rutledge quickly up ahead. Coombs right into the man. Shear runs into, has some physicality to start this one off between the Wolverines. As Gugu will go back after taking the hit from Shear behind his net. Gugu stops and quickly up the wall. The Rangers look to break things out. Up ahead for Turner. He'll go 1-on-3 as the rest of his team changes. Turner waits for support. Smartly dips it down below the goal line around for Dufour off the bench. Dufour for Turner. Turner back up top. Harvrow shot there. Green had trouble with as it trickled in behind him. But the whistle goes a little bit early there. And the faceoff will stay inside. That puck trickled in behind Riley Green. He didn't know where it was. It was actually on the top side of his pad. It trickled in behind him. Whistle goes. The black pad's doing him a favor there, as I think the puck got lost with the black of its pads. Dufour offensive zone draw with Turner. And Cooper will get a shift out there with them as down below. Cooper finishes his check on Wayne as he plays it over to the far side. Kopech will pick it up, centering pass off the stick. That'll bounce down. Here's a chance. Shear lets a shot go. He scores! Jack Shear sneaks it through the 5-hole of Mason McKinnon. And the Wolverines have the first goal of the game. Thanks to number 16, Jack Shear. It'll be his first goal of the campaign here at Provincials, his second point, as he adds on to an assist. I believe that was this morning, as Jack Shear beats the man up ice, as I believe Harbrough, the bouncing puck, was unable to control it, and the Wolverines off to a 1-0 lead against the Rangers in the Sportsplex. Chalk on the draw, they'll redo it. 7.5 minutes remaining exactly here on the clock. As Chalk will do it over once again. He'll win it back for Wes. Played D-to-D, LeBlanc back for Wes. Wes quickly up the wall. As getting a stick on it was Hannah. Hannah, sorry. So Wayne will pick up the assist. I believe the other one should have went to Kopech, who had flipped it all the way down. Wayne, though, will pick up the lone assist so far as it's played up ahead by Hannah. Sidestepping a check, puck elevated into the bench. Will stop play. I believe Kopech had an assist on that last goal, but the Wolverines not too concerned about who got the assist. They are on the board with the first goal of the game. It doesn't matter how or how many, it just matters you got more than the other team. A little bit of confusion once again on the change for the Wolverines. As mentioned yesterday, Felix McDonald, one of their top goal scorers, not able to play in this tournament due to a separated shoulder, but you see him on the bottom of your screen. Working the door for the Wolverines. Told the coaches he didn't want his name scratched off the lineup card. He wanted to be on the bench cheering his team on, so good leadership from number 34, as he had a tough stretch, I believe, last year or 2 years ago, breaking his leg during provincials last year. So tough bounce in playoffs for number 34 the last couple of years, as this team looks to get on the lead here. Up to 2 is a shot there from Lateria. See if there is an update on the score sheet for the assist, but for right now, the lone assist is gone to Lucas Wayne, who played it over around on the draw, but it was Kopech who picked it up, and it had the high flip out of the zone. So maybe just forgetting about the high flip, thinking Wayne rimmed it all the way around, but we'll maybe see if there's a change after the first period or not. Good hold there. Here's Shear, the goal scorer, chipping it down the wall for himself towards the net, trying to find Conlon below the goal line. Jack Shear pressured there. Conlon, nice move to the outside. Lets a shot go. That one elevated up into the mesh. And we'll stop play once again. Another offensive zone draw for Will Shear. Out there with Kopech and Conlon. Kopech, nice move, trying to cut off the wall. He does, sticks with it. Kopech's shot, and McKinnon calmly with the glove holds on for a whistle. Good action here all day from the Sportsplex. Right before this one, if you were tuned in, you saw the very exciting action. It was 4-1 for the Bandits heading into the third period. Finished up 5-4 for the Gauls as they stormed back in the third period. It's off the draw, trickling it down in onto McKinnon. He'll hold on for a whistle. Materia in there trying to create some havoc after the whistle. Face-off's going to stay inside the zone as the Rangers will have a line change. Andrew Wigington's squad in blue, red, and white. Defensive zone draw for them. It's one back. Surratt dangerously through the crease in front of his goaltender. Will get it out. And now here's a break. Finley Howe. He's going to try to use his speed around the outside, stopping up. Rutledge runs into him and knocks it off the puck. To the point, Surratt steps in. He'll work it down below the goal line. Rutledge on it first. He's tag team there by two Rangers, but Williams will fish out the loose puck and skate it up. Luke Williams just outside the red line. He'll chip it in and give chase. The defenseman activating there. He'll leave it for Coombs. Coombs' shot there is blocked. Another chance, and Coombs got knocked off the puck. As Grady Coombs, he had a goal last night in the 6-1 win. As here's Wayne, has an assist tonight on the lone goal for Shear. Harpel playing it over. Sim, he'll settle things down. Back for Wayne, up for McKay, over for Parker. On the sideboards, he'll chip it down below the ringette line to the point. Wayne walks in, shoots. That one deflects wide. In below the goal line, the Wolverines look to get it right back as Harpel once again creating havoc in the offensive zone. We saw that a lot last night from number 8, Leo Harpel, as he was rewarded with, I believe, a goal. He opened the scoring last night. He had a bunch of chances. See the effort continuing here this evening, as it'll be another offensive zone draw. McKay, Parker, and Harpel, as it'll be Trig Chalk for the Rangers against McKay. One by Chalk to the wall. Surratt stops behind his net. He'll set it up, trying to work it up the half wall, and out come the Rangers up ahead for Kendall. That goes all the way down, no icing. Went past screen there as Kendall finishing his check, but the Wolverines quickly back into the offensive zone. Harpel stops up, loses it. Chalk trying to work it out, was unable to. Good stick by Harpel. McKay will work it down below the goal line. McKay finishing his check there to separate Surratt from the puck. As it'll be picked up, Harvrow trying to work it out. Finds Kendall. Kendall chipping it up ahead. Turner will chip it in. Green tried to slow it down, was unable to, and Turner gets to it first. He loses an edge as he tries to get it in deep. Ripley rimming it around. West at the line, he'll hold. And that puck flutters in. Green is going to elect to hold on to that one and slow things down. Here's a whistle going to go to his glove side, I believe. With 3:44 remaining on the clock here in the first 15 minutes of play. A one-goal lead for the Halifax Wolverines in the first 15 minutes, as this period has been a lot of the Wolverines' heavy forecheck. See how the Rangers respond as a shot there off the draw trickles wide. Dufour trying to spin away from some pressure in the corner. As a 2-on-2 battle, it's worked over here to the short side. West, good stick to keep it down in deep. Kopech, though, will come out with the loose puck. Max Kopech trying to work it to the wall as the forecheck for the Rangers tries to get something established, but out come the Wolverines. 2-on-1 down the far side. Kopech to his backhand. What a move! Max Kopech continuing the hot stick here this evening, and he's got the Wolverines their second goal of the game as they lead by 2. What speed and what patience from Max Kopech to calm things down, keep it onto his backhand, and slide it past Mason McKinnon for the Wolverines' second tuck of the game. Kopech with a great individual effort there. Gets rewarded for it. Now the Rangers are going to try to have to respond here. And the end of this first period of play, they trail by 2. As back to center ice we go. Tie up draw. Work back Surratt. D to D over the stick, and the Wolverines right back. Here's Coombs. A drive. Just went under the stick of the man, Fisher Shear, who was driving the back door. So Shear, I think, is going to pick up an assist. So his second point of the game as Green plays that around the wall. Stepping into the far side was Ethan Gugu as he's pinched up on the wall to the point. A shot there towards the net. Here's a chance, and what a save by Green. Riley Green keeps a donut on the board and his team up by 2 as an in-close chance for Ellis Burgess. Decided to go to his backhand and was just unable to open Riley Green up enough to slide it 5-hole. And what a chance there for the Rangers, their best of the night. Draw one back by the Rangers. Surratt will play it below the goal line. Sim cuts that off and keeps things moving to the far side for Harpel. Chipped up ahead, McKay. Centers for Parker. Parker with some speed. He'll drive wide on his backhand. Following it up, McKay towards the net. Intercepted by Surratt, and he'll use his net. Chipping it off the boards and into the neutral zone, into the bench area as it's worked back here by the Rangers. A chance backdoor. Chalk unable to come up with the puck as it was intended for him. Into the corner. A battle pursues between Kendall and Wayne. Wayne will play it over for Sim. Ryan Sim up for Harpel, who takes a little bit of a bump there from LeBlanc as the Wolverines break it out though. Parker over the blue line, still with it. He'll let a shot go off the toe on the short side of McKinnon as Harpel finishes his check, turns it over. Parker to his backhand, and a great diving play by LeBlanc to break up the chance in tight. D to D for Wayne. Wayne towards the net, tipped off a skate. Rebound chance there is blocked by LeBlanc. What a shift for number 26. It's down low. Wayne runs into Cash West. That'll separate the puck from him. And out come the Rangers. Kendall couldn't get a stick on that. It's going to go all the way down. The Rangers unable to change on the icing as the Wolverines back to the offensive zone draw as they've had a flurry of chances on the last shift. So Jack Shear will pick up the assist on the Max Kopech goal. The lone assist on the score sheet so far. We'll see if they edit anything over the intermission or during the first period. I guess not really an intermission, just a little break. As a minute and 15 seconds remaining here in the opening 15 minutes of play. Over the line, Gauthier had it knocked away from him, offside. It'll be worked back inside the blue line of the Wolverines. Williams up for Conlon. Jared Conlon, he'll weave his way through the neutral zone. Nice move to go work it. Back to the outside, Shear across. Here's a chance, back door. And a good stick there from Mason McKinnon to elevate that puck into the glass. Down low, in tight, Kopech below the net. Looks for an option, trying to find Shear. A good stick to break that up was West. Down below the goal line, LeBlanc with a big shift here. Last shift, I think, is out comes Turner over the blue line. 3 back for the Wolverines. Has to force Turner on the dump around to the short side to the blue line. Dufour trying to keep it in. Cooper finishing his check high on Shear. He wasn't too happy about that as the Rangers will regroup inside their own zone. Turner will chip it in. Will it have enough for icing as he was on the other side of center, and it will. And once again, the Rangers unable to change as Turner wasn't over center, and Dufour Cooper are forced to stay with Surratt, Turner, and Gugu as only 10 seconds remaining here on the clock. One last chance on the draw for the Wolverines to bring it to 3-0. Rangers in a must situation on a draw here as it's worked D to D by Gugu to the short side. Oh, and a big hit. Ripley finishing his check. That one is going to feel the effects later as Surratt took the worst of that. And that'll do it for the first period of action here on High Button Sports. We'll be back for the second in about 2 minutes' time. All right, 20 minutes on the clock here to start the second period of action. I think Shear had a quick conversation with the refs in between the periods as his chin, I think, is a little bit cut after taking a high hit at the end of the first period of play, as it looks like Harple, Parker, and maybe Rutledge to start the second period for the Wolverines, as they do have last change, so they'll wait to see who the Wolverines put out, and it will be Rutledge, Parker, and Harple. As George McKim once again will take the opening draw of the second period with Burgess on one side, and on the other, Finley Howe. And we're underway here, second period of play inside the Sportsplex. Both teams looking to improve their record at 2-1, a 2-0 lead here to start the period for the Wolverines as they get right back on the offensive forecheck. As to the blue line, McKay, great job to hold it there as it was inches away from trickling out. LeBlanc, he'll play it over for Surratt. Nice move through the middle. Sorry, that was Cash West to move it up. And the stick on it was Burgess. An icing call will be charged once again to the Rangers as LeBlanc was trying to get off for a change. He'll be forced to stay out there. Conlon, Shear, and Kopeck out for the offensive zone draw as they look to extend the lead. That's the top line for the Halifax Wolverines. A jumble of points in the regular season, combining for well over 100 between the three of them here this season. As Shear on the draw, he gets taken out. Shear showing a little bit of frustration. He's been roughed up a couple times here. Is working it in over the line on his backhand. A good job there by West. He tries to center, but Kopeck in a good defensive position breaks that up. Max Kopeck, far side. West in there, down deep. Here's a chance, a drive, McKim, and a big save by Green. Hannay, pinched off by Sim on the end wall. McKim in there, he tries to fish things out. Hannay, he'll kick it up to the point. Quickly D to D for Surratt. He'll let a blast go, that one wide. Hannay trying to spin away from Wayne, but a good stick breaking that up, and he'll chip it up for Shear. Shear with some speed, he'll chip it in and chase. To it first, here's Jack Shear for Kopeck. McKim trying to get it from him. Kopeck, though, sticking with it below the goal line. Good job by Surratt to get that off of his stick as Kopeck tried to use the back of his net with a bank pass to himself. Coombs off the bench, tied up there as he got off the bench and tried to activate in the offensive zone to the far side blue line. Coombs trying to work it in. He's got to be careful not to set himself offside as the puck in his feet picked up by Schneer. He lets a shot go. That one elevated over top of the net. Williams takes a bump to get it back in deep. Turner wasn't able to handle it, and Williams back for Gauthier, regrouping. Coombs right back in over the blue line. A delayed call upcoming here as it's touched by Schneer, and it looks like it's going to be a head contact call. Fisher Schneer, arms up in the air, kind of wondering what for. I will say the Halifax Wolverines squad, a pretty tall and big squad for the team in black and yellow. It'll be the second power play of the game for the Rangers as they look to get on the board as the 2-minute head contact call to Fisher Snare. As mentioned there a couple seconds ago, the Halifax Wolverines are a bigger team, so sometimes they'll run into players, have everything down, but just the height differential will result in the head contact penalty. I think that's might have what happened there as Schneier will sit into the box for 2 minutes or less. Trig Chalk to take the draw to start the power play. Their second opportunity on the man advantage. He'll win it to the wall. Williams up with it. He'll try to clear it out. Was unable to. Good job by LeBlanc to settle things down. LeBlanc, he's going to drag to the middle, kick it back down. Hannay finds a man, Surratt, it's blocked. And now Parker has McKay with him. Good back check by Surratt. Parker sticking with it. Down low, Parker trying to barrel his way through, but he loses his footing, and out comes Surratt. He'll find Chalk. Up ahead for Finley Howe, dropping that puck off as the Rangers look to break things up and into the zone. LeBlanc sidestepping the check there. He blocks the clearing attempt, but not well enough as it trickles into the neutral zone. Surratt quickly back in. He'll drive that along the boards to the short side. It'll be left by Hannay for LeBlanc. LeBlanc's going to keep moving down low. LeBlanc back up top. Surratt, shot, pad save, Green. Rebound sitting right in front of him, holds on for the whistle. Kyla Bent has a quick word with Brian Sim and Lucas Wayne about the penalty kill before they head on, as they'll be out with Max Kopech and Jared Conlon. Kendall, Dufour, Burgess, Turner, and I believe Cash West out on the power play for the Rangers here to start it off, or to continue it on, as 1:09 remaining on the power play for the Rangers. Their second opportunity on the man advantage. Can they capitalize and cut the lead in half? West, sauce pass for Dufour. Back up top for West. Over to the far side. Nice move to the outside. Kendall trying to find some space up top. A shot there from distance. Tipped on. They score. Turner getting a stick on it in front of Green. And the Rangers cutting the lead in half to 1 on a power play goal. Great job to get his stick on it, as that one is going to be Turner's, I believe, first goal of the postseason, or of the playoffs. It's a face-off back to center ice. 2-1 the score now, as the Rangers were able to capitalize on the power play. Great job there by West to float a shot through, as the Wolverines looking to respond quickly to the point for Wayne. Spinning up top for Sim, it's blocked. Trying to center, was unable to, as Hubley overskates that. Shear trying to poke it down. He picks it up. Shear in, tight shot, and a save by McKinnon. Kendall's going to pick up the secondary assist on the power play goal. From Turner. Another offensive zone draw for the Wolverines. They'll win it back. That shot fanned on by Ripley. He'll elect to back off as out come the Rangers. Great back check by Conlon, the captain. That one's going to be offside as Conlon entered too soon. Shear was down in deep. Couldn't get back over the blue line in time. They'll head off for a change. So Ryland Turner, his first goal and first point of the Provincials is a big one to get them on the board here. And I don't want to say a must-win game, but pretty close, as they'll try to move their record to 2-1. There's a lot of 1-1 records here to start this tournament off. I believe the Novas are 1-1. Halifax is 1-1. The Rangers are 1-1. The only teams that are undefeated have been the Gulls and the Bombers. is up over the line. Lateria poked away from him. Goche trying to step into the man. Separated enough as Williams back up to the wall in front of his bench as LeBlanc sidesteps a check, and the Rangers looking to get back here to the fresh game, trying to tie it up at 2. Up top, LeBlanc waits. Dufour walking in, shooting off the shin pad to the far side for Wes. He'll walk it over top of the zone. A shot there, and Green once again holds it on as it went into his chest. Lots of traffic in front of Riley Green. The Rangers maybe trying to get into the eyesight of the Rangers goaltender, of the Wolverines goaltender, as it looks like it's going to be a somewhat of a goaltender duo here, as both these goalies looking solid through the first 20 minutes of play, as 15-13 remaining on the clock here in the second. There's a shot there, trickles, and the glove saved by Green. He'll hold on for the whistle. This time they'll do the face-off. It looks like it's going to be on the glove side. Trigchuk, offensive zone draw for the Rangers, has Cooper lined up behind him. Puck up in the air. Cooper with a drive. That goes off a skater, Ripley, and wide. Cooper in the corner, waits for an option. The Wolverines elected to keep everything to the outside, as it looks like a little bit of a power play kind of set up here as the Rangers set up in the offensive zone as they try to work things towards the net. Chalk centering in front. Here's a chance. Green with a kick save to keep it a 1-goal game. Ripley gets taken down, and out come the Wolverines. Harpel lets a drive go. That one well off its marker to the far side. Parker trying to hold it in and was unable to. Parker inside the red line. He'll work it right back in quickly. Parker, cross ice pass. Harpel sticks with it, lets a shot go. And the direction finder off there once again. Into the corner, McKay on the half wall. Cycles it off a shin pad, kick to the slot, and picked up by Harvro. Dropped off back here for Gugu. Pressured by 2 Wolverines, up for Cooper to the neutral zone as Ripley tries to drive that back in deep. They'll get it in. Harvro, though, to it first. Had some time as the Wolverines on a change. Kopech off the bench. That puck chipped past him into the neutral zone. It'll be collected up by Wayne. That one all the way down. It's going to go for icing as Lucas Wayne tried to connect with Shear and try to move it quickly, but just was unable to find the stick of the man, and it's going to result in another offensive zone draw for the Rangers. We've seen some pretty crazy hairdos here this weekend, but the Rangers and the Novas are topping it all with the red hair. As you see Turner lets a shot go there. It's kind of tough to see with the red helmet on, but his hair is as red can get. And there's another player there. As you see Turner's flow coming out of his helmet. Kendall's hair, I believe, is also red. One with polka dots on his head. Saw that during the opening ceremony. So different hair styles, I guess you could say, here for the provincials. As I remember doing that back in the day as a team bonding kind of thing to make sure your team, all looking the same, I guess you could say. As West lets a drive go, a blocker saved by Green, rebound picked up. Kendall finds a man, a shot there from Dufour. Rebound into the feet and cleared out by Sim. Kopech using his net to keep the pressure off of his back as he'll kick it wide. Shear on the active stick there, trying to get the puck back. Down low in front of the net. The Rangers had a gasp from the crowd as the puck kicked out in front. Now Turner with a step to his backhand, to his forehand, was unable to get it. The shot away as a good job there by Kopech keeping him to the outside. Here's Shear back the other way. Shear towards the net. McKinnon's going to let that trickle through his crease to the corner. Blanc will reverse to the far side for Wes. Wes pinched off on the wall, trying to chip it up to Kendall, who fought for it on the blue line. Worked back here for LeBlanc. LeBlanc up the wall. That one's going to go all the way down. It's going to be an icing call against the Rangers. No change. So Kendall and Dufour forced back out onto the ice. I guess they didn't really leave the ice, I should say forced back out, but they were over by the bench trying to get off for a change, and the icing call stopped that. So good action here as LeBlanc got a little confused there as that'll force Dufour out of the draw. Face off won though by the Rangers as LeBlanc will play that around to the far side for Kendall. Kendall, nice play through his feet to find Dufour, who tried to get it out but was unable to as Parker dumps that back in deep. Wes over for LeBlanc. Looks up, Burgess had it go under his stick. Back into the zone. Dufour trying to escape move his way around some players as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Williams elects to dump it right back in. McKinnon plays it over. LeBlanc will chip off the glass. Fanned on it though as Rutledge had it bounce over his stick. Burgess tried to center off a skate. And back into the zone of the Rangers it goes. Surratt with a move to the outside. Finds Dufour, just sidestepped a check there from Williams as the Wolverines trying to pick up the physicality as Burgess back over the line. He'll chip to the far side boards. Rutledge to it first. Using the net as that one had the fans of the Wolverines with a little gasp as it'll go all the way down as Rutledge cut up in front of his net, almost lost control of the puck. And the face-off is going to go back inside of the Wolverine zone. Rutledge will take the draw as it looks like he'll face off against McKim, who has a quick chat there with McPherson about the draw. McKim wins it. Back as a puck battled for on the far side on the half wall. Gauthier trying to spin away. He'll work it up for Shear, who will center through the middle of the ice off for Lateria. Lateria to the outside. He lets a shot go, that one wide. And out of the zone. Berger back inside his blue line to his ringette line. He'll play it D-to-D. Ripley across ice. Pass that was worked up into the neutral zone as McKim will intercept it and will chip it right back in. Berger and Shear run into each other on the far side. Going back for the puck. Conlon chip and chase for himself as he chips it twice out of the zone. Here's a chance, Kopak. He'll go one-on-one, pull, Kopak. He got tied up, and it's going to be a power play for the Wolverines. As we'll see the first power play is a great individual effort once again by Kopak. And as the Rangers touch it up, Green got to the bench as they weren't able to set up the 6-on-5 for an abbreviated period of time. But it's going to be West to the box for the hook. As what a toe drag by Max Kopak to the middle to draw the call. And now we'll have a look at the first power play of the night for the Wolverines. It's going to be Shear, Kopak, Sim, Conlon, and Wayne to start it off. 2 minutes of power play time on the board. 10:34 remaining on the clock in the second period. Here's Sim, will dig it out for Wayne. At the point, Wayne for Shear, down low. Kopak, back up for Shear. He'll settle things down up top for Wayne. Wayne's gonna drag it over to the far side for Shear. A shot there is blocked by Chalk, who labors a little bit as it's worked back to the point for Shear. For Lucas Wayne. Wayne switching spots with Conlon. They'll switch again. Wayne for Conlon. Quick touch pass back. Lucas Wayne. So they got to get something moving here as it's worked out by Chalk into the neutral zone. Across for Conlon. As a little bit too stationary for the Wolverines to start here. On the power play, Surratt will chip it for Gugu. Gugu looks up the middle of the ice. A high flip will clear the zone. It's going to clear right down onto Riley Green, who stops it and moves it for Wayne, who will set up the breakout. Conlon and Shear are going to swing to their forehands. Over for Conlon on the short side. He'll try to use his speed up the wall. Good angle by Kendall. Knocks that puck away. Sim trying to get it back in deep as the puck battled for here at center ice. Taitanier leans over as Turner out there to kill off the back half of the penalty as it's worked over for Shear. Shear, a move to the middle. Shear, toe drags over top of the puck and it gets cleared down. He'll peel off for the Shades along with Sim as Harpel back for it. Green will play it around for Ripley. Ripley up through the middle. It's right onto the stick of Harvrow and back into the Wolverine zone. Ripley knocked it down with the glove And quickly back here for Parker. Parker to the blue line. He'll dump it in. McKay will try to get to it first. Was unable to come up with it. Is a good job by LeBlanc. Using his body there to separate. A chance on the clearing attempt. Picked off. Williams a drive and a pad save. What a chance there from Williams on the turnover as Ripley quickly over for Williams. Another shot. Tipped and a stick save by McKinnon. It's clear back here. Back to 5-on-5 is out of the box. West is going to pressure the man. He'll turn it over. Cash West below the goal line. Now low. A sharp angle shot is denied by Green. West still out there below the goal line. The defenseman trying to work an opportunity towards the net. He'll sauce through the middle. Back to the point. Gugu dumping it back down low. A bouncing puck over the stick of Finley Howe. Below the goal line. West turns it over again in front. Burgess couldn't let enough on it. Another chance. Burgess trying to bang it home. Still loose. Centering pass. West in his feet tries to get a shot away. Still loose. Cleared to the point. Surratt. Fans on the puck. That one trickles out. And it's going to cause the Rangers to tag back up. And there comes Harpel. Turns it over. Surratt quickly on the turnover. Back with numbers. Finds Dufour. Back up top. Here's a chance to drive. Green with a save. Still loose. Howe in his feet trying to dig it out. And what a save by Green as the Wolverines got caught on a change there as Harpel with a move at the blue line turns it over as all the men were going up, and it's going to be a power play as Dufour is going to go for the interference call, I believe. Or no, it's going to be Rutledge, and the Rangers back to the power play as they've had two already, capitalizing on one. And just like that, a surge of pressure is going to cause the Wolverines to take their third penalty of the evening, and the Rangers are headed back to the power play with a chance to tie it up at 2. Wow, I'm going to have a second to catch my breath. What a chance and series of events, really, for both teams. As it started on the power play for the Wolverines, and then Cash West out of the box creating all kinds of havoc as he was out there playing forward as the defenseman had some opportunities to center and a bunch of chances for Burgess and Finley Howe as Dufour drops it off for West. Kopech, he's going to pressure him to the outside. West keeps things moving as he dumps it in and runs into Conlon over the blue line. To it first, the Rangers. Burgess had a flurry of chances on the last shift. He'll cycle it down low. Burgess to himself, using the net to protect the puck to the point. That'll be worked off cross here for Dufour. A shot there and a pad save by Green, and that'll be cleared up. Kopech thought about going for it, but it's too far. All the way down, McKinnon. It's going to leave it there. West reverses for Dufour. Dufour chips off the boards to himself, and now he'll use his speed up the far side. Quickly up ahead. Williams, he's going to take the 2-on-1. Good back check from Gauthier. Backdoor chance, and Green with a spectacular glove save there as it went off the outside of his glove. And that'll get cleared by the Wolverines. No icing. As about half a minute remaining here on the power play for the Rangers. What a save by Riley Green to keep the 1-goal lead preserved. As a fake drop pass here, LeBlanc is going to drive wide on Williams. Stop up and set it to the point for Hannay. Down low for LeBlanc. LeBlanc in the corner for Hannay at the point. Hannay over to the far side. Over here is a chance for LeBlanc as a nice feed from Surratt into the corner. As I believe that's Shear without his stick, pinning it up with his feet. Great job there by Shears. That'll do it for the power play. Back to 5-on-5 as Kopech off the bench. As Rutledge into the bench there, so they get a change. Is over to the far side point for Surratt. Is a good job by Shear to kill off some time there. He's without a stick. As the stick you see there down by the goal line. Shear to the point. He's going to run through Surratt, but it's held at the line. As here's another chance. A drive from a sharp angle. Green with the save. To the point. Another shot. That one's blocked by Kopech. To the half wall. Kopech flips it up into the neutral zone. Shear is going to pressure. Gets a stick off the bench as he gets back into the action. As the stick, I don't know if it's broken or just couldn't get to it. But Shear now with a new piece of lumber. Still out there as the puck down low. The stick, we'll see if that creates any havoc. There's a good job there by Kopech to separate the man off the body as Cooper digging down on the end wall. Trying to work it off the end wall is McKim as well, as it's picked up here by Kopech. He'll send it across for Shear without his own stick. He'll work it in over the blue line. Shear trying to pull it, was unable to, as it's poked back here for McKim. McKim to center. He'll chip it in. Green out to stop it for Berger. He'll reverse. Ripley, nice job by the Wolverines trying to switch sides of the ice here as a solid forecheck from the Rangers here in the second period. Ripley to center, up over the blue line. On his backhand, he loses an edge and goes down. Centers from his backside, it's picked off, and the Rangers, here comes Cooper, trying to sauce pass. Parker knocks that down onto the stick, and back here comes Schnare with Coombs. Coombs for Schnare on the centering attempt, and didn't connect cleanly as Parker on the loose puck into the corner. To the point for Ripley. Jack Ripley a drive and a blocker save. Is a blocker pad save from McKinnon to keep the 1-goal deficit. Cooper chipped up ahead. McPherson gets a stick on it, no icing. Ripley pressured by McPherson. Turns it over. McPherson trying to work it back to the point for Harvrow. Wasn't there as a change from the Rangers was underway. It's back for it, Harvrow. D to D. Taking his time, looking up ice. Is LeBlanc. It's picked off by Sim, and he'll chip that right back in below the net of McKinnon. Harvrow. D to D again for LeBlanc. LeBlanc up. Sim. Glove down. He tries to work it back in. Picked up by Dufour. He'll spin away from the pressure of Harpel. Dufour sticking with it. Finds his way to McPherson. Dufour up to center, and Sim right back into the Rangers zone. Harvrow off the glass. Bouncing puck. Wayne loses his edge. Dufour will chip it into the zone. Sim. Pressured by McPherson. Rias Sim with a nice move. He had a goal last night in the 6-1 victory over Dartmouth. As it's back here to center, and that'll be sent in by LeBlanc. Green will steer it into the corner for Sim. Rias Sim taking his time. He'll methodically move his way up the ice. Sim in front of the blue line. He'll dump it in below McKinnon's net. West to it first, quickly up the wall. Here's some time. Kendall. He'll leave. Toe drag attempt by Chalk. Turns it over. Here's Kopech on the turnover. A shot there. Rebound. Spit into the middle of the ice, but cleared away. Chalk centered. Up ahead. Kendall gets it. Kendall chipping it up into the zone. Past Ripley. He gets back. Pressured by Hubley. Back for Williams, below the goal line. Williams chipping it up the wall. Kopech skates onto it. He tried to center. It's turned over onto the stick of Turner, who has won the lone goal for the Rangers as that drive goes wide. Leteria, normally wearing number 24 now, number 95 here this evening, so a different number for him as it's chipped up ahead. Kopech with a stick on it, tried to work it around Surrett, but wasn't able to. Here comes Ryland Turner and a big hit. What a solid body check by Will Shear. Nice toe drag. Shear, drive, and a save by McKinnon as he looked like he had a little trouble with it. But can we go back a couple seconds to that thunderous body check from number 16 in yellow and black as he laid the thunder to Ryland Turner, the lone goal scorer for the Rangers here this evening. A Parker offensive zone draw as he faces off against Hannay. Puck cleared out into the neutral zone. Wolverines regroup. As a minute now remaining here in the second period. Still a 2-1 lead for the for the Wolverines as the Rangers try to tie it up here late. It's in their zone though as McKay centered. As the Rangers wanted a tripping call. Parker in the corner, trying to work it out. Turns it over. Hannay to the point, bouncing puck out past Wayne. Finley Howe pressuring him. Wayne will dump it right back in deep. D to D for Gugu. Half a minute remaining on the clock. Burgess, nice touch through the middle. Hannay skates onto it. To the blue line. Hannay trying to drive wide. He sneaks past the check there of Sim. It's one back though. Back. Here's Wayne. In behind his goal line, 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Wayne behind his net. I can hear Landry yelling, control, control, trying to keep control of the puck. As that puck chipped back in front of the bench of the Rangers, into the middle of the ice, right back to in front of the bench of the Rangers, and that'll do it for the second period of action. So after 2 periods of play, the Wolverines with a 1-goal lead heading into the third. We'll be back here for third period of action on High Button Sports after this quick intermission. And welcome back, folks. Second period has commenced. Third period just about to start here inside the Sportsplex as we are underway here. A 2-1 lead for the Wolverines. Coming into the third period as they are looking to move to 2-1 on the tournament, and so are the Rangers. So a big third period here for both teams. They want a chance to try to play for the semifinals as that puck dropped off outside the line. Harpel smartly delaying at the line, not going offside. As it's worked up here for Finley Howe off of his skate. On the half wall, battled for. Some fans starting to make their way back to their seats here to start the third period. As it's cycled back in by the Wolverines. Wes behind his net, he'll chip it up off the glass. And back into the Wolverine zone. It's regrouped, here's Kopech. Trying to make a move, good stick there by Hane, a delayed offside call. Go back, Williams off the end wall for Gauthier. Chalk in there trying to disrupt that. He comes out with the loose puck over top of the circle. Trig Chalk finds a man, here's Surrett with a drive, it's tipped. I think a block actually by Williams as Shear quickly to the far side, trying to move it to the middle of the ice, was unable to. As it goes back, Chalk by the Zamboni door, pinched off on the wall by Kopech as he's tied up there with Surrett as the arm around the back of Surrett. Got to be careful not to take a penalty here as they've taken 3. It's cost them 1 goal. As here's a chance in tight. McKinnon trying to shut the door, puck loose in front of him. And the Rangers coming out with it, trying to work it out of their zone. Here's Hane. Good back check by Shear. And Kopech on the forecheck, working it back in. That pass picked off by Sim. Good hand-eye coordination to knock that down. Here's Ryan Sim dropping it off onto the stick of Jack Kendall, and back here he comes for the Rangers. To center, one hands that in, and Turner will give chase against Wayne. Wayne, good protection there. Fights off one as he'll skate it up through the neutral zone. Lucas Wayne, one of the highly talented defensemen for the Wolverines, will turn that over inside the blue line. Now here's a chance with numbers 3-on-2 if they can get things going, but a good back check by the Wolverines, disrupting that puck, and they look to get right back out. Lateria to center. Wes, another sauce pass across. That'll find LeBlanc. He'll drop that back off for Wes. Wes bobbing and weaving his way up over the blue line. Wes pulls, and that puck just out of his reach. And worked back here to the blue line by the Wolverines. Lateria centered, picked off by Cooper. Cooper, a toe drag, and a good stick there by Rutledge to knock that away. Sim over to the far side. Harpel had it bounce off of his backhand. LeBlanc quickly back up ahead. Lateria slowed it down, and it sets Chalk offside as Chalk couldn't stop up and pull it in over the line. It was just slowed down enough. Chalk's feet entered before the puck did, resulting in the offside. So the face-off to the far side of the ice, just outside the Wolverine zone. Good start here for, I'd say, both teams in the third period. And I think the key factor for the Wolverines is they can't sit back. They have a heavy forecheck. And I was always told the best defense is offense. It's hard to score if you're 200 feet from the other team's net. So I'd say they could try to keep the foot on the gas pedal here and forecheck hard, not trying to sit back and allow the Rangers back into this game as they trail by 1 with a power play goal in the second period from Rylan Turner, his first point of the 2025-2026 provincials. As it's played on the end wall, a turnover. Here's a chance for the Rangers. They'll set things up. Harvro, a drive from the point, tipped wide by Williams. Williams, he'll play that up the wall for Harpo. Nice job to direct it through his feet there. It works up to center, but off the bench, here comes Finley Howe. 5 back, though, for the Wolverines. Will take that puck into the corner. Down there is McKim, pinched off by McKay. Good forecheck there by Finley Howe to turn it over. Spinning away from one down low, but Ripley got the body on him and lost his balance enough to turn a puck over. Harpel Chips that puck into the Zamboni door. He gets to it first, 1-on-2. Harpel centers, and a good stick by LeBlanc, disrupting that. Burgess, he'll play that through the zone as the crowd wants a holding call there. Not sure on who, as both men were tied up with each other. Tough to pick one out of the pile there. As West, a nice escape move. Cash West showing his skating ability off here. As Kopeck turns it over at the blue line. Centered. Kopeck turns it right back in over the line. Max Kopeck drops it off. Nice move. Shear pulls, shoots, scores! What a snipe and what a passing play by the Wolverines. And Shear picking a perfect spot over top of the pad under the blocker of McKinnon. And just like that, Shear gets the 2-goal lead restored for the Wolverines. And I think that's his second point of the night. And it will be. I think Ripley will potentially pick up an assist on that one. We'll have to wait and see and hear from the PA announcer inside the Zasman Sportsplex. Here's Kopeck. A drive off the skate, a rebound off the outside of the post. So Shear from Conlon and Kopeck. They assist Nen, I guess you could say, on the Shear goal is outside the line, trying to work it in. It's a good job there. Jack Shear back on the defensive side for Dufour in the center of the ice. He lets a shot go, and Green up with it there. He was going to play it into the corner. Whistle gone before. So Kopeck's going to pick up his second point of the game. Jared Conlon is going to pick up his third assist of the tournament and third point as well. So a solid start here from both teams, but the Wolverines coming out with the goal here in the third period to regain their 2-goal lead, as they'll look to try to keep things out of their zone. As here's Parker trying to work it into the offensive zone, turns it over outside the blue line. As the delayed entry there, as now they'll work it in. Here's Harpel. He'll try to drive wide. A good job by West to tie him up. Cash West, notable defenseman out there for the Rangers, is a very well skating and puck moving defenseman in number 12 on the back end for the team in blue, red, and white. As it's chipped in, West will go back for it, using his net to keep Parker at bay as he'll stop up and reset for LeBlanc. Up for Hannay. Hannay turns it over to Parker towards the net. LeBlanc settles it down and will chip it up here for Kendall with some speed. Kendall's going to cut to the middle. Jack Kendall towards the net. He is the captain for the Rangers. He tries to lead his team back into this one with a good offensive drive, but Green once again coming up with a save, and we'll keep this one in his glove. Face-off will go over to the other side of the ice, over to the glove hand side. And that one will trickle in, and that'll be held on to by Green once again. They'll redo the draw from the same side. Kopeck against McKim once again. Face-off, battled in the feet. Coming up with it are the Rangers. A drive towards the net off the skate and wide. McKim, 1-on-2 below the goal line. He'll come out with it. Now has a little bit of room. Kopeck in there forechecking, and he needs some support. McKim, 1-on-2 battle. Trying to fish it out there, I believe, is Alice Burgess. Ripley coming out with the puck, spinning it in behind the net. Still tied up down there is McKim as the battle continues between McKim and Shear. Or sorry, my apologies, Sim. As that puck into the neutral zone to center and sent right back in by the Rangers. Green stops it up for Raya Sim. Sim stops up, finds Ripley. Ripley quickly up ahead. Conlon touches it for Kopeck. Kopeck turns it over Here's a chance back the other way for the Rangers. Cooper lets a shot go off the skate and wide. McKim, a hard cycle around the end boards. Kopech trying to chip it out past the pinch there of LeBlanc as out come the Wolverines now from this side though as it was worked across the ice. Shear barrels his way into the zone. It'll be knocked off of his stick back into the neutral zone. Leteria drives that puck in deep. Schnarr up with the loose puck along the end wall. Fischer-Schnarr kicks to the point. Wayne, he'll let a shot go. That one wide though. To the side here for Coombs. Trying to spin away from one. LeBlanc read it and gets it back into the neutral zone. As he takes a bit of a bump there and turns it over. And right in front of their bench as the puck plays pinball there. It's worked up and LeBlanc will work it in deep. Wayne, pressured by Turner. He'll spin, use his net for protection, and work it up the wall for Harpel. Harpel, a touch to the middle, turns it over, but gets it right back as it was on the stick of Hane for a moment. And coming back, here comes Harpel, picking up some speed. He'll drive wide on his backhand, lose control of it as he takes a ride there from Turner on Harpel as Ryland Turner lays the thunder. Leteria, back for Gauthier. Gautier's gonna walk, drop it. Up top here, Williams from McKay and off the shin pad and out as Williams had a drive go. Can get blocked into the zone. He'll quickly work it back. Up for Gauthier, for McKay, over the blue line. Turns it over, and that puck up ahead was intended for Hane, but couldn't come up with it. As Finley Howe with a good stick as the hit there from Hane, creating a little bit of havoc as it's chipped up here. Parker back in over the blue line. It's worked here for Harpel. Harpel trying to split through Surratt. Good job there. He'll work it up for Finley Howe, who centers as he takes a hit. 2-on-2 back the other way. Burgess, he'll kick it wide for Chalk, who's going to try to split through, and he'll lose control of the puck. And back here come the Wolverines up ahead to center as just in over the blue line. Turned right back by Burgess as the Rangers try to get on the forecheck here as we approach the halfway mark in the second period. As to center, back here comes Conlon, has an assist, his third of the tournament in this game is here. Shear working it, shooting, and a blocker save by McKinnon. A big one to keep his team just within 2. Still 10 minutes remaining here in regulation. Is up over the blue line. Come the Rangers. McKim gets taken down, no call as he lost an edge as Kopech onto the stick of Conlon. Jared Conlon, the captain, working it up ahead for Kopech. Here's a chance out in front and a great stick by West. Doing it on the both sides, it seems like. Here's a shot there. McKinnon with a save, rebound loose into the feet of Kopech below the net. Kopech spins to his forehand. Finds Berger creeping in, but a good stick there. And out comes Turner. He's got a goal so far with numbers. Turner trying to find the man back door and a bouncing puck past Dufour. Below the goal line, Dufour pinched off by the door down there and out. Here comes Ripley. He'll take a hit at center ice, and Kopech gets to center and will chip it in onto McKinnon, who steers that for LeBlanc. Pressured by Coombs. LeBlanc, he'll find the man. Here's Gugu. Up for Kendall. Kendall, he'll make a move to the outside. Now to the inside. Kendall on his backhand. A shot there is blocked. What a move by Kendall to work it in over the blue line, but it's right back. Leteria for the Wolverines gets taken out by Chalk. D. Gugu up through the middle of the ice. Has Kendall with a step. Gauthier all over him. Kendall to his backhand. He gets hauled down and will it point to center? We'll wait and see. And a hooking call as I thought he had a step. Avery Gauthier all over his back is going to head to the box. 2-4 the hook. What a pass and what a pickup by Jack Kendall. And the fourth power play for the Rangers about to commence. Avery Gauthier in the box for the hook to take away the breakaway opportunity to Kendall. Jack Kendall with a chance on the breakaway. He'll stay out for the start of the power play. He'll get kicked out of this draw. Burgess in to take it. Looks like, I believe, against Parker. Face off, won by the Rangers. To Wes. Kendall. Up top for Wes. He'll walk. A nice saucer pass again for Dufour, who walks in and spins away from some pressure, giving some time to Cash Wes. A good windshield wipe there on the PK by Parker is pressing forecheck, or I guess penalty kill here by the Wolverines. Dropped off for Wes. A drive, a tip off the stick up into the mesh as Wayne. I don't know if he meant to, but off the shaft of his stick. Up and out of play. So another chance here for the Rangers to try and bring the game back within one. 7:51 remaining on the clock here in the third period. A 2-goal lead for the Wolverines. Here's Wes. Plays it across. Dufour a shot and a pad save. Green. They score. Burgess on the rebound. And Ellis Burgess has the Rangers within one. The second power play goal by the Rangers has them within one against the Wolverines here with 7:42 remaining on the clock. Cash West will pick up his second assist as he drove that one in once again from the point. A seeing eye shot off the pad of Green. And the Rangers within one once again. Surrett, D-to-D for Gugu. Burgess got a stick on it. McKim trying to pressure it in. It's played D-to-D for Surrett across the line. He gets to the blue, takes a hit as he'll get it in deep. Here's a chance. Burgess a drive, a block there by Ripley. Dufour and West will pick up the assist. As here's Burgess to the point for Surrett. A shot there off the stick of Will Shear and up and out of play. So Liam Dufour picking up his third point of the playoffs, his third assist of the campaign. And Ellis Burgess is picking up his second goal, his second point. And number 12, Cash West, his fourth assist of the tournament. What a weekend for number 12 is off the draw. Dufour will win that back to the point. A shot there, up into the head there of the defenseman in front. It looked like it was Wayne who ate that one and cleared back into the neutral zone. West to center. He's going to dump it right back into the Wolverine zone. Green stops it for Sim. Sim touches it to the middle for Parker. Finds McKay. Over to the far side for Harple and over the blue line. Leo Harple below the goal line. That'll be played here down below. Harple protecting. He'll cycle it down low for Parker. Parker on the wall trying to find the man off the wall. Here comes Harple towards the net and that puck over to the far side corner. Turner, good job protecting the puck there, but he turns it over though on the second chance. Trying to work it out. The Rangers look to get right back into the offensive zone, trying to tie this one up at 3. Parker on the cycle. LeBlanc comes up with it first. Heard McKay coming, decided to wait, take the hit. Finds Dufour off the back of the net. Look at Wayne in there. Sorry, that's Harple. Back up top for Wayne. The 8 and 9 got a little confused there on my behalf as it's worked down. LeBlanc for Turner. Ryland Turner by the penalty box. A step from the red line. Cross ice pass, it's picked up, and West will chip it in and give chase. As a great defensive play there by Wayne to slow him down and turn the puck back. Here comes Shear with 3 as he'll finds a trailer. Quick touch back for Shear. Backdoor chance, and Kopech just tipped it wide. Shear sharp angle shot. Rebound, McKinnon reaches out for it. Still loose though. Shear to the point. A drive, that's blocked off the glass. In below the goal line, a wraparound attempt from Conlon. Was up to the point and sent back in below the goal line. To the half wall, Hannay. Skate to stick, will poke it over to the far side where Google controls, and a reverse back here for Wes. Up for Hannay. Hannay finds a middleman as here comes Chalk. Over the line with Cooper. Chalk, a shot, a pad save. Cooper on his backhand, couldn't get the rebound. As it's worked back here, Coombs over the line. Kopech stops up, had it poked out into the neutral zone. They'll have to reset. Harpel off the bench, turns it over to Trig Chalk. Good back check by Grady Coombs. Finley Howe pinched off by the penalty box, and back here come the Wolverines. McKay trying to center to Harpel. It's picked off, and back here comes Surratt. Trying to work it up over center, turns it over. Harpel back on the attack. Trying to chip it past the D-man. I guess that's the forward. That's Trig Chalk back there covering for Surratt as McKay gets it down low. Below the goal line, Lachlan McKay. He's going to cycle it. Surratt read it, picks it off, chips it. But Harpel comes up with it. Harpel trying to center. In there for Coombs. Had it picked off of his stick. Chalk. Good stick left, works it out. Chalk to center. It's going to go all the way down. And it's going to be an icing call. They called that icing as he was at center. No way. Trig Chalk was at center ice and dumped it in, and an icing call. They brought out the millimeter stick there. That's not even the measuring stick. That was the millimeter stick, and an icing call as the Wolverines were hounded there, or were hounding the Rangers. The Rangers were desperate. They got to center, dumped it, and an icing call charged as Trig Chalk was in disbelief, and the Rangers coaches were not happy about that call. As a no high stick there and a hand pass. One official waved it off. The other one blew it down, so a little bit of confusion between those two. As the back official blew it down, the official to the left of me in the Wolverine zone called it off. Shear trying to get the draw into the offensive zone. One though by the Rangers, quickly up ahead. Kendall getting a stick on it. It'll work its way in. Ripley over to the far side. Red there, tipped back in by LeBlanc. That'll activate Kendall. Forechecking Ripley, he'll reverse up for Kopech. Kopech, good job stick handling out as he had Kendall all over his back as he'll get to center and flip it in. That time was over the line. As that puck will be chipped up the wall. And trying to keep it in was Sim. He was able to, as the puck in the feet there, trying to kick it up and in is Conlon, was unable to, and back into the neutral zone, Conlon gets it, and that time makes no mistake, gets it in deep and peels off for the change. Fresh skaters out there for the Wolverines. Here as we are onside, 3 minutes remaining here in the period. LeBlanc fakes a drop, nice move to the outside, LeBlanc on Sim. Below the goal line, the defenseman activating. Finley Howe finds a man. Turner trying to poke it up ahead for himself, clearing a tap, held in by Kim. That shot, and steered away by Green. Down low, Finley Howe trying to work it out there. One hand on his stick. We'll wait to see how long McKinnon stays in. To the point, a drive. Gugu with a blast and a pad save by Green. Surratt down the wall. He'll send it in for Finley Howe in his feet. He's tied up, but it looks like by McKay. It's a 2-on-2 battle on the end wall. McKinnon still in between the pipes. As we approach the 2-minute warning, here's a chance off the skate to the middle of the ice. Cleared out by the Wolverines. Right back to center, and that's dumped right back in. Delayed offside as McKim was tied up with the man. It's going to force Hannay back out. As Hannay doesn't hear it, it's going to go all the way down as a stoppage of play with 1 minute and 46 seconds in regulation, a 1-goal game. Wolverines lead the Rangers by 1. 1:46 remaining. We'll see if the timeout is called. Andrew Wigington looking for the board down below on the bench, probably waiting for an offensive zone draw, as McKinnon will probably follow the play up ice. Inside 2 minutes now as that puck off the skate to the far side. Chalk will chip it up to Burgess. We didn't read it though. And back Kopech trying to enter back in over the line. Kopech sticking with it, gets it in deep. Runs the man there as it's quickly up ahead. Nice stick by Chalk to poke it around one. Trick Chalk and Shear. Good job keeping Chalk using his body to not interfere, but make sure he didn't get to it first as Shear turns it over momentarily, but out. Here comes the Rangers. McKinnon. He's going to follow the play up now. 6-on-5 to the wall. Extra attacker is going to be due for. 6-on-5, trying to dig it out here as 1 minute remaining here in regulation. To the point, Dufour, got to be careful as he's the last man back. To the point outside, it's going to be an icing call as Kopech sends it down. Icing call to the Wolverines as they won't be able to change. We'll wait and see if there's a timeout called. Andrew Wigington has the board out. As we'll wait, they'll say go line up. We'll wait to see. Landry also had the board out. No timeout was called, but it will be timeout for the Rangers. Landry has the board out. Wigington has the board out for the Rangers. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Time for the last 50 seconds of regulation here on High Button Sports. And welcome back here for the last 47 seconds of regulation here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. What a game this was been. Back and forth action. A couple special team goals for the Rangers. And they trail by one here. Can they tie it up? 6-on-5. Extra attacker out. Face-off battled for that one. Cleared all the way down. Goes off the stick. No icing. As they'll have to get back and go back for it and try to get quickly back up the ice. With some speed, Kendall weaves his way up over the blue line. He gets taken down. No call on the play. Puck inside the line. Shear has his head up. He'll flip it to the far side. Onside, Kopech for the empty net. He shoots, he scores. Max Kopech regains the 2-goal lead and puts the cherry on the cake here for the Wolverines with an empty net goal. With 18 seconds remaining on the clock here in the third period. As one of the coaches for the Rangers, his night is going to end early, as they had a couple words for the officials. They had an unsportsmanlike, so they'll finish the game on the kill. The remaining 18 seconds of the game. It looks like Hannay over to serve the unsportsmanlike misconduct for the coach as he heads down the tunnel a little bit early here. I guess not too much. He's not going to miss much. 20-ish seconds remaining. 19.6 seconds on the clock here. McKim will go in to take it. So Kopech is going to get his third point of the game, his second goal. Shear, his third point of the game, as his second assist on the night. So Shear and Kopech connecting again, and those two with 3 points here in tonight's game. And the Wolverines with a 4-2 win will improve their record to 2-1 on the year. Or on the tournament. Riley Green is going to improve to 2-0, I believe. On the tournament, I believe Taden Ye was in the pipes for the loss this morning. So Green undefeated here at Provincials. The Wolverines now move to 2-1 and put themselves in the contention for semifinal Sunday. Or semifinals, Sunday here at the 2026 Provincials. Still Friday, still have a lot of hockey left to go, but the Wolverines with another win there, definitely going to help them coming down the stretch. The Rangers move to 1-2, going to have to figure out a way to get a win tomorrow to try to move to 2-2. If not, it'll be the end of their season. So that'll do it here for me on High Button Sports. The Player of the Game ceremonies coming up here in a moment.
Player of the game for the Rangers, number 44, Ryland Turner.
So Ryland Turner with a nice tip goal is going to pick up his Player of the Game award on the far side of the ice.
Player of the game for the Halifax Wolverines, number 22, Max Kopeck.
And Max Kopeck with a 3-point game will pick up his Player of the Game. Kopeck coming into the game, he had 4 points, add on another 3 for 7 here on the weekend. That'll do it for me. I'm Lone Crothers with High Button Sports. Thank you for tuning in once again. As stay tuned, more action coming up after this one. As on tap for this one after this will be, the Dartmouth Whalers and the Nova. Stay tuned as the last game of day 2 coming at you in about 15 minutes time.